Hey everyone, welcome to Shooting Complex, where today we're going to be talking about competitive shooting and how to get involved in it. When a lot of people think about competitive shooting, they think the barrier to entry is incredibly high, that you need like a race gun, you need a bunch of dedicated equipment, all that stuff. But the barrier to entry to competitive shooting is much lower than what most people would think. So in this video, we're going to go over the absolute bare minimum amount of equipment that you would need to get shooting. We'll also talk about how to register yourself for your first match and some expectations that are common to the shooting sports. Now, this video is going to be focused on getting people involved in the quickest way possible for either USPSA, IDPA, or PCSL. I'm not going to get too much into all the divisions, the equipment, power factor, all the different scoring systems. That's not what this video is going to be focused on. I want to get people shooting as quick as possible and having fun and getting involved in their local matches. So this video is really intended for that person who owns a gun. Maybe it's you in my audience right now. You have a couple of mags and you really don't know where to start. Or maybe you are a more experienced shooter, you own a lot of gear, and you want to use this video to just double check yourself really quickly to see if you have all the stuff that's necessary to get yourself out there and compete. Let's go over our minimum amount of gear that we need. This is, in my view, the absolute minimum amount of gear that would get you started in a pistol shooting competition like USPSA or maybe even IDPA. So it's a handgun, a gun case, a belt, a good sturdy belt, one that is sturdy, doesn't fold in easily because it has to keep and retain all this stuff. 3 magazines in a magazine pouch, holster, eye and ear protection, and at least 250 rounds of ammo. Now, the gun case is really important because in the rules, you have to have your firearm in a case. You can't just take it out of your car and go walking around in the parking lot because USPSA and IDPA and PCSL, they have layered safety practices to make sure that everybody's safe. So always bring your gun in the case and take it out in the safety area. You need 3 magazines because stages won't have over 32 rounds being shot in USPSA. Use the magazines that come with the gun. I have an HSGI pistol, double pistol taco belt mount. This is about 30 bucks. The G-code holster, it's universal. It's gonna fit a lot of carry guns like this Glock 19. It's $30 and it comes with the mounting paddle that you see on the back, which is really nice. Eye and Ear Pro, just basic foam ear protection. Foam ear protection is the best. Ballistically rated, like shot glasses, and 250 rounds of ammo. The ammunition, it doesn't really matter. Just something that gets you out. It's at least 115 grains, and you can shoot it. So that, in my view, is the absolute bare minimum. Now, if you are looking to get started in a 2-gun match like PCSL, all you would need is just all of the stuff for handgun that we just showed you and a basic rifle. Now, I know an LMT is not exactly a basic or beginner rifle. However, in terms of features, this is a very basic rifle that would get you started. You just need 3 magazines, some type of optic, and a sling with a chamber flag and then a bag to put the gun in, and then you'd be good to go. You don't actually need to have a magazine pouch in PCSL. It's not required by the rules, so as long as you have 3 magazines and pockets to store them in, you're ready to go. The final thing that I am going to recommend that people take, of course, is a bag. It doesn't matter which, as long as you can carry all your stuff in it, and absolutely bring some water. Matches typically involve standing around for hours, so make sure that you prepare accordingly, bring some snacks, food, and definitely some bottled water. Let's go over the basic registration process. How do you find matches and register for them? It's actually very simple. All you have to do is go to practicescore.com in the upper right-hand corner, click on matches, and then type in your location, and you will be able to find a bunch of different filters that will allow you to hone in on which match you'd want to shoot. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to find a USPSA match, and the registration for it will be very simple. It'll have a first name, last name, probably it will ask your email. All of them will have a division, class, a category, power factor, and member number. Division and power factor we will cover in the next section of this video. The classification, if you're watching this video, chances are you don't have a classification, you haven't paid a membership. So for a USPSA match, you would put U, means unclassified. For IDPA, that would be UN. And for PCSL, at the moment, there is no classification system, but I'm sure they will probably get it rolled out sooner or later. And there'll be something very similar that you'll have to check off. Category, you don't have to check off any of these. And for member number, you don't have to put anything. Once you get all that filled out, click on register and you are ready. You'll also be asked to squad. If you have a friend, you can put yourself in a squad with your friend or whoever. So you found a match that you really want to compete in, but you don't know what division to put yourself in. So if you're registering for a USPSA match, a PCSL match, or an IDPA match, we're going to talk over some very basic divisions that'll get you started. Let's say you're somebody that just has a basic gun like this Glock 19. Most important, it's a stock gun, it's iron sights. If you are registering for a USPSA match, you can put yourself in limited with minor power factor. If you're registering for a PCSL match and you just have a basic rifle like the one we've shown and an iron sighted gun, you can put yourself in practical. And for IDPA, you can put yourself in ESP, which is enhanced service pistol. Now, if you're somebody that does have a little bit more of a tricked out gun, maybe your gun looks closer to something like this. It has a dot, might even have a flared magwell, a compensator, who knows? There's a lot of guns now coming from the factory with compensators. Now, if you have a gun that looks more closely to that, in USPSA, just register yourself as open so that way you don't have to worry about whether or not your gear is compliant. PCSL is an open division. It's called competition. You can register for that. And for IDPA, you can put yourself in carry optics or ESP, or carry optics would probably be the one that you'd have to register for. As long as it fits the box, you should be good to go. My IDPA people, if you know something that I don't, please feel to chime in the comments. Also, for IDPA, you'll need a concealment garb, so something that you can conceal your equipment with, and you'd be good to go. When you get to your first match, don't even worry about getting your equipment out of the car. The first thing that you should do is go find the registration or check-in table where you can let the RO know, hey, I'm here, and also it's my first time shooting. That's a really important thing that ROs like to know, so that way they can pair you up with somebody or maybe put you in a special squad, so that way they make sure that you have a good and easy time at your first match. Once you've done that, then you can start to think about getting your gear ready. Now, another important thing to note is that at your first match, don't bring a firearm loaded. Make sure the mag well, the chamber, everything is clear. Don't even have an empty mag in your gun. Make sure it's unloaded. Find the safety table. This is where you can unbag your firearms, you can make them ready, you can put them in your holster, all that good stuff. But when you're at the safety table, make sure that you bring no ammunition into the area, nor do you handle any ammunition. This is a rule that exists to make sure that people don't start getting set up or taking apart guns and they don't even realize it's loaded. It's one of the layered safety practices that shooting sports has in place to ensure the safety of all competitors. So make sure that you respect it. If you do bring ammunition into a safety table, you will be disqualified. After that, there'll usually be a shooters meeting where they will put everybody, tell you, okay, this is what squad and which stage you're going to be going to. And you have a long day ahead of you, so make sure that you come prepared, like we mentioned earlier, with snacks, water, maybe a little bit of caffeine. Sunscreen is definitely really important. You don't want all the energy to be sapped out of you by the sun, because it will be a long day. At a shooting match, there really isn't a whole lot of shooting that happens. It's a lot of standing around for hours, so come prepared to stand around a lot. Shooting is also a volunteer sport. Make sure that you show up early and you're prepared to help set up and also stay and help tear down the stage. People are dedicating their own free time to this, so it's really important to give back. It is an expectation that you help reset the stages as well, so make sure that once you're done shooting, you should be pasting up targets, resetting steel, whatever needs to be done to make sure that the next shooter is ready to go. When you show up to your first match, what should you try to accomplish? Make sure, first of all, that you are safe and that you have fun. Don't worry about pushing speed or going super duper. It doesn't matter how much training or weird tactical classes you may have taken in the past. We just want to make sure that you get through your first day and you're safe doing it. One of the things that I see a lot of new shooters struggle with on their first matches is the 180-degree rule. The easiest way to make sure that you don't break that is that when you're moving around, make sure that you just go slow and you keep the gun pointed at the back berm. So take a look at this clip to kind of see what that looks like. Guys, thank you so much for taking a look at this video. I hope you guys found it helpful and it shed a little bit of light on how easy it is to get started in competitive shooting. If you're somebody that watched this and you're an experienced competitor, make sure to let me know what some of the questions you had before you shot your first match, or what some of the things that you wish people told you before you went shooting. And I'd really like to see them. If you're going to shoot your first match soon, let me know too.